And it was yesterday, so you know it's a good thing for Bertens because Svitolina had a day off, was not playing yesterday, so they're coming in really, I think, physically at about even status. And I mean, Bertens has been playing some great tennis, beating Kerber 1-6-6, 3-6-4. I mean, I thought that was a very good result right there. And against Sloane Stephens, just too tough. Sloane, although had chances, was up to love in the third, couldn't keep that break, and Stephens just proving once again that she is really, really great on that surface.
And Bertens said herself, likely to see a lot of long rallies in this one. Going to see a lot of backcourt tennis. Who's going to win the chess match? As for Elina Svitolina, well, I said about Bertens feeling fresh. Maybe not so with Svitolina, but she has had a day off. That's the difference. But of course, as you can see a tweet there, what a match. 6 hand massage is much needed. So that just shows you what she needed to recover after that astonishing performance against Caroline Wozniacki.
Oh, that was such a match. The intensity and, you know, what was a task. I mean, just to know that she only had to win 1 set. She almost did it in the first set. She was 2 points away of winning the first set. Had to go to a second set, but it was also very tight, winning it after a few set points. But, ooh, she's playing some great tennis. She's moving so well out there.
And she's talked about her struggles over the last 6 months and saying everyone has an opinion. Everyone's been saying their opinion. Social media, everything else. But she's actually said it's made her stronger. Focus on her own path. And that is what has helped her in Singapore. Yeah,
I mean, she basically came here and said, you know what? Nobody is waiting for me to do anything in this tournament. Everybody's writing me out. And she said it in her first press conference. She said all the hatred that I've been, you know, seeing on social media, I mean, that's going to probably close a lot of doors on those, and showing that she belongs. She belongs here, and you know, I'm thinking she can go all the way.
Well, can she? That's the question. Kiki Bertens won their meeting this year in Cincinnati, 6-4, 6-3. The previous one coming in Zhuhai in 2016. Svitolina won that one in 3 sets. How much can we read into that win for Bertens earlier on this year?
Well, I mean, I think mentally to just know that, you know, she won against Svitolina, but won the tournament also, as Maria Cicak will be taking care of this match. I mean, you have to know that winning the last match within the same year, it's helpful mentally, but conditions are so different. This is a much slower surface. We are indoors. It was outside. So, you know, altogether, I think right now at this stage of the competition and the WTA Tour, everything is pretty much a 50-50 here.
And they're two players who are very comfortable at the back of the court, possibly sometimes sitting deep in the back of the court. It's a slow court as well. What are we going to see out there with regards to creativity to win the point from either player? Well,
I'd like to see some slice backhand from Kiki Bertens, besides the fact that she hits a very flat backhand, just to get that ball very low, and slice backhand, maybe cross-court also to the backhand, short cross-court to the backhand of Svitolina, because, you know, she has to run and get 2 hands to get to that ball, doesn't have as much reach, might be difficult to handle. I'd like to see how aggressive she's been going, Bertens, throughout the tournament. You're going to have to take it, you know, to Svitolina, who is such a great mover. I mean, the match against Wozniacki was so beautiful. Just 2 movers and 2 of the best movers of the game. So it's going to be consistency and control for Bertens.
And with regards to mentality, there's no questioning Bertens' mind right now. She says, I think I've proved to myself I can beat anyone, and that certainly wasn't the case maybe before this year, but what a big step it has been for her. Of course, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Did you see this sort of a year coming from the Dutch player?
Oh, no. I mean, I saw that she was playing, but to play to that level, I mean, she has the records that she has against top 10 players. I mean, as she said when this tournament started and at the gala, she said it was the most nerve-wracking of the situation throughout the tournament so far was me going down to the red carpet. So we know that for her, it's much more difficult to do external stuff, but on the court, she feels so good right here.
Both players no doubt feel great. Who will make it through to the final? That's the question. We'll find out in a few moments' time. Here we go then, the first semi-final. Kiki Bertens against Elina Svitolina, the 8th seed against the 6th seed. Who predicted this one? The 2 very worthy last 4 opponents. Both players have lit up this tournament over the last few days. Svitolina still undefeated. Will she be undefeated in the next couple of hours or so? That is the question. It will be the Ukrainian to get this one underway. Sophie Amiak and myself, Pete Hodges, to talk you through it.
Ready. Play. Love it.
Well, you know that the serve of Svitolina is something that Bertens going to look to attack. First and second serve. Try to put the pressure on the Ukrainian. The second serve being slightly weaker. I mean, it's not going as fast for sure in the box.
And of course, it's been a very impressive tournament for Svitolina. What has impressed you the most, though, Sophie?
I think the mentality. I mean, how she can turn things around, knowing that she was totally the outsider in here, and just going at it, going.
How about that for a point?
What an amazing display of strategy, change of pace, change of spin, using the geometry perfectly of the court for Kiki Bertens right here. That cross-court short was the one that hurt the most, and she loves that forehand, hits the outside the ball, and it makes really Svitolina have to go way far to get it, and the perfect volley to finish it up.
Of course, talked about Bertens being an excellent player at the back of the court. She was in the doubles final here, though, last year, so she can certainly do the business at the front of the court, too.
Well, it's good that she was here already. I mean, has the experience of what the feel is to be indoors here on this surface. I think it definitely helped her coming into play in singles.
Double net court, but comes back on Bertens' side. Do expect fine margins to decide this one. Early signs, it's a Ukrainian net. Fine start then for the world number 7. Svitolina gets on the board first. And it's interesting, Sophie, that you were just mentioning about Kiki Bertens. She actually said herself, didn't she, in terms of winning that, or getting to the final of the doubles last year. Svitolina said the same thing with regards to last year. Of course, came into last year's championships in singles, having won 5 titles that year. Big expectation, slow court. We all thought it would suit her, but she talked about the nerves perhaps getting the better of her. And this year, that hasn't been the case.
No, not at all. Well, because nobody expected her to do anything. I mean, she played so well at the beginning of the season, winning the first tournament that she entered in Brisbane. She's just trying to finish the exact same way and winning another tournament at the end of the year here. That'll be a good bookends for her.
Love it.
Of course, that little stat we just saw there, something, as I said, both of these players making their nations very proud. Bit of history for Bertens, of course, first player into the semi-finals since Brenda Schultz-McCarthy. I keep saying McCartney.
Well, you're British.
Got the Beatles in my head all day.
She made it. Right on the line, the touch that she has. I mean, great feel. First to get to that ball was a kind of a miss-hit return, and how she dealt with it. That is not easy. That's great serving. And she had ups and downs on the serve. I mean, she is at the top of the service aces count for the year. She's probably, I think, 4 or 5 there, but on the double fault also can be very high. So right now, no problem.
Certainly no problem with that serve. First ace of the match.
Oh, I love that serve. I mean, this slice serve has been paying dividends for everybody this week, especially for Svitolina, who used it constantly against Wozniacki.
And in the first couple of games here, is this the reason why we've seen Bertens defeat so many top 10 players? You look at her game, you think pretty useful serve, great touch around the net. She's a good mover, solid from the back of the court, can hit winners.
There's that slice again, just pulling completely Bertens off the court, and you know you have the open court. Bertens thought she was going there and went behind the Dutch player. Wrong footing her is a very good play. When you have a tall player, it's a great play. Very difficult to come back. But back to your question, I mean, Sloane Stephens said it perfectly in the press conference after beating Bertens. She said, listen, she can do anything. She's so tricky. She has a height of the ball of the forehand, a lot of topspin. She can slice off the backhand. She can hit flat off the backhand. I mean, it's the variation is amazing for Bertens, which creates complication when you cross the net, because you get a high ball, a low ball, a hard ball, a softer ball. So you have to adapt constantly.
And there isn't an area of her game that is a weakness.
Nope. Smart play from Svitolina, being attacked off the returner serve and didn't panic, just put it back down the middle. Oh, that's a very uncanny, unforced error for her. I mean, she hit that late. Racket face was open.
And there is Andrew Bettles, our coach. He's credited a lot of her success this week to Andy, as she calls him. Just going to drift wide, and we are still on serve in this opening semi-final. Svitolina edging in front again, 2-1.
Could you give me one water, please? Thanks.
ironically enough. Again, we've got Alicia Molik courtside. What have you seen in the first 3 games, Alicia?
Well, there has been a lot of big hitting. Obviously, the first game quite taxing on Kiki Bertens. I think she got a bit impatient on the following game. I think really important for Bertens to keep attacking returns. The Svitolina's first shot is always generally a neutral ball. She always backs up, but it's Svitolina's absolute strength, neutralising from the start of the rally and then working her way in. And I just think for Bertens too, important for her not to be too eager for options or changing rhythm of the point. She got a bit desperate in that last game as well to make something happen. I felt like she was rushing it and forcing it too much rather than letting options present themselves to her.
Just how great is it, Alicia, seeing the movement up close from both players? Oh,
they've both improved over the last 18 months. I have to say both women have improved in that department, Svitolina included. I think the difference, though, with Svitolina, she is picking the right moments to be aggressive on. And just trusts her serve a fraction more. It's been the biggest difference with her in terms of results and matches here in the finals in Singapore. It's being more brave on her serves. It's paid off. Kiki, though, hitting with so much more spin as we have a look. Svitolina, that's an advantage she has, and she's going to have to use it.
Thank you, Alicia. I'm sure we'll hear more from you throughout this fascinating matchup.
Well, that's dangerous, you know, when you're 3/4 of the court inside and you hit something that is not really going to hurt your opponent. If you backtrack the way she did, she had very little chance to get to that ball. She would have been better off at least come to the net and ask for a passing shot. Maybe go down the line also on that shot.
Did so well with that ball.
But you know what? I love the reaction of Svitolina. I mean, she has been so up the whole tournament. Every time that she makes this kind of play, you see her celebrating. I mean, she is so hungry for victory. What a shot that was. I mean, I thought that was a great slice, very low. And look what she's able to do, just accelerating low to high to create tons of topspin.
Yes. The first break point is saved in the blink of an eye.
Well, listen, if you're going to break point and they can basically serve, she can serve that way, that's just too good. See if she can do this throughout the whole match. Well, that's what I was talking about, the serve. You know, it's up and down.
Oh, stunning. And that was what Alicia Molik was talking about. Patient until pulling the trigger.
Yeah, it's all about controlled aggression for Bertens and giving herself a huge margin for that forehand cross court. You know, she takes the ball on the outside of it, puts a lot of topspin, clears the net, and the topspin makes it back down into the court.
Bertens breaks back. Brilliant defence early in the rally and turns that defence into attack.
3 games to 2.
It's Svitolina, though, who leads early on, 3-2. I said at the start this one would be a treat, and it's started that way. Svitolina looking so good early on, but what a response that was from Kiki Bertens. And there is that angled forehand again, just to open up the court. And we were saying off air, Sophie, we've seen Sloane Stephens, who's in the other semi-final, have a lot of success with those angled forehands, and this court's so receptive to the sort of angled side spin ball.
Short cross court, yeah, and the fact that they both really hit the outside of the ball just to put a lot of topspin and roll that ball is really effective on the surface. I think that Svitolina is going to look to try to avoid getting too many of these. It's too hot on that side right now. Oof, talking about hot, there's another ace for Bertens.
Ace number 4.
Miss Bertens is showing a call on the right.
Bertens very quick to challenge here. Was backpedaling quickly. But it has caught the back edge of the line.
30-15. Miss Bertens has 2 challenges remaining.
No doubt Andrew Beddle's pretty happy with that challenge going his player's way.
40.
Well, so far the serve and the forehand have been really working for the Dutch woman. Mixing it in the box on the ad side, it's been going wide, now to the tee. Difficult to return when you really don't know what to expect. Well, this is what Sloane Stephens described. She can do pretty much everything. And the feel at the net, the touch volleys, and the drop shot right here. She's got it all.
Such great composure in front of the court. And you can see just why. She's had those 12 top 10 wins. 10 of her last 11, incidentally, against top 10 players, Bertens.
Trying to stay away from the forehand, Svitolina, right now.
Not only do both players have excellent movement at the back of the court, but great anticipation too. Svitolina reading where Bertens was going to go with that short forehand.
Yeah, she defended that forehand much better than she's done previously, and attacking us down the line, changing direction. I would go slice wide right here on the serve, just because Bertens is so far behind the baseline.
Well, you weren't right, Sophie, but you can't argue too much with that.
Well, but in the sense, you know, it's going to take her maybe 2 or 3 more shots. I mean, the slice might have been a winner serve or an ace, and she did it all along this tournament. She used it so well. Love that play. Went around the backhand and really inflicting so much power, taking charge on the second serve of Svitolina. I'd like to see that play more a bit earlier in the game instead of being at love 40. Didn't have much opportunity, but if she does, she's got to take them.
That's the first serve for Svitolina, and the first game in 3 for the Ukrainian. A shake of the head from Bertens.
4 games to 3.
Svitolina calling her coach out. Leads 4-3 first set.
It's serving there. It's different when you keep getting up to it on the first serve. Okay? Keep making sure you're up to it, not collapsing. See that slight adjustment you did in that game? You have to commit to being aggressive. You're the one controlling the point. Okay? It's just a slight difference where you're closer up to the baseline and trying to do a little bit more. You can't expect for her to hit 1, 2, 3 balls in attacking position and find her range in it. Okay? You have to commit to going after it and try and dictate points as much as you can. Of course, when she's attacking, you try and change the point round and think depth. Okay? Not too much angle in defence, strong in the corners and depth. Push her back, then when you get the chance, then you open up. Okay? Yeah? But you be the one dictating. What are you feeling on your first serve return? She's serving well, but keep being proactive with it. If you need to move back, don't have a problem with that. Okay? Give yourself a bit more time, then you go shape on it. Alright? But it's the right way. Keep committing, going after it. Mentally tough every point. Okay? Come on, let's go. Right here. Put the pressure on.
A few big words there from Andrew Bertens. Commit, dictate the points, think depth, not too much angle. We've seen Bertens hurt Svitolina with those angled forehands, so looks like good advice. I'll ask you your thoughts on that, Sophie, in just a second. Bertens with new balls here at 3-4.
I like the advice that he gave her. On top of that, he said, you know, the first serve return, sorry, just back up if you want to. I'm not opposed to that. Give yourself more time, because Bertens has been serving very well after being broken, so not a bad idea.
He also said initially, didn't he, how are you feeling?
Right, he asked her first, correct. And he said, she didn't say anything. He said, if you feel like it, I'm not opposed if you want to back up a little bit.
love,
Of course, saw a match the other night with Pliskova where Renee Stubbs came on and said, better length, more down the middle. We saw a response straight away from the Czech. Are we going to see the same here from Svitolina?
Well, it seems like right now, I mean, she's doing what he was asking, but it's also Bertens who's just dropping a bit of a level in those 2 points here.
15-30.
She's serving much better, though. Much more consistent. Good first serve percentage at 65% right now, winning 11 out of 14 first serves. Much weaker on the second serve, only 1 out of 7 points won for Bertens.
Chris Evert, courtside. Fabulous here, isn't it? All the legends.
Video.
We were lucky enough to have Billie Jean King in the commentary box yesterday, hoping Chris may come up for the final. For Kiki Bertens.
The power that she's generating, it's absolutely amazing. Changing direction as well.
That's a big hold, especially from love 30 down.
Love 30 and at 15-30 second serve, really deep in the box, completely caught off guards. Svitolina missing the return. She was a bit upset at it. Very good hold for Kiki Bertens. Now let's see. Yeah, let's see if she does anything on the return of serve. And this is where you think that it's time to maybe try to step in more often on the second serve, especially of Svitolina.
Flattens out on that forehand, Svitolina.
She's waiting and patiently waiting, and as soon as she really has the opportunity, she's been very convincing.
Yeah, one of the big words from Bertens was commit. She's certainly doing that off the forehand wing whenever she gets a short ball from Bertens. Patience as well from the Ukrainian.
She's winning the war of the cross-court forehand. That's pretty good. Wasn't the case earlier. Pushed Bertens to change direction, was not quite set up for it. She's starting from too far, I think, behind the baseline, and that is so short. She's almost reaching as she's hitting that ball. Needs to get her body probably on the baseline when she's ready to return her second serve.
WTA 30.
This will be the test. So Elina starts to miss a few forehands. Will she still commit to that shot? Just overcooked it. Bertens challenging. Sophie's next to me. You look pretty confident that you think this one's caught the line.
I feel like this is good. Chit-check's not sure either. Oh, no. Wrong with Sophie.
Yeah, just long. And it's another game for Svitolina. She's a game away from taking the first set here in Singapore in this semi-final.
Ms. Bertens has one challenge remaining.
Well, Alicia Molik is courtside, and she's been watching just what Bertens does so well with a very difficult ball on the backhand side.
Oh, thank you. It's firepower central here from Kiki Bertens. She can be so damaging when she's in position. A great illustration here of her backhand. Notice how she rotates her upper body racket very high. Unlike a lot of other players, in fact, technique quite different. Quite a generous swing at the back, very stable through the hip. Just notice the contact point, just a fraction out in front of her body. That is the perfect position. And of course the follow through, so important for power. Just beautiful. And she's increased her aggression, Kiki Bertens. I really feel like she's found her rhythm now and not so intimidated by the amount of balls Svitolina is getting back.
Thanks, Alicia.
Time.
Deep in thought, Kiki Bertens hasn't called Ramon Sluiter onto the court so far in this opening set, which I suppose, Sophie, suggests that she knows what she's doing out there.
She sure does. She's shown that since the beginning of the tournament.
Serving to stay in this first set, though, 4-5. Svitolina in this game, what do you do differently, or do you do anything?
I would press this. If she gets a second serve, I will start pressing. And but right now, I would try to get every single serve return at least down the middle, open the port, put the point, put the pressure on Bertens.
Lights, sense.
She found the line. She has. Risk and reward.
That came so fast off her racket. I mean, you just see the reaction with Svitolina. She just stood there and looked at it and watched it going, okay, not a chance to get there. Too good.
That's
beautiful serve. So flat down the tee. I'm most impressed with the way she's been serving. I mean, she only had one double fault when she actually was broken. That's when she had a little bit of a sliding of the serve. But so far in the match, very consistent on the first serves for Kiki Bertens.
Kiki Bertens.
That is magical. That's what I think it is. Just the awareness of pulling that drop shot at the exact perfect time during the point, knowing that Svitolina is so far behind the baseline and going behind her body as well. I mean, oh, this is so clever. Guess she doesn't need her coach on court. But maybe it would have been a good idea at 5-4, but no.
That's the double fault you were saying earlier. That's only the second one we've seen. She is someone who's talked a lot in the past about the fact she goes for second serves, doesn't like to just sort of roll them in.
Yeah, she hits second serve pretty flat as well, so big margin for error.
Will she be as aggressive on this one?
It's great stuff from Svitolina. I mean, as soon as she has any opportunity and the ball is a little bit shorter, you see her reacting so differently, moving forward, taking that ball so early and inflicting herself a lot of power, committing to the shot.
Forehand's generally been on fire in this opening set, but one of the biggest points of the opening set, it lets her down.
And guess what? It's winning a point of a backhand slice. Because it was so low, she didn't get down enough, lifted at the same time at impact.
Set point for Svitolina. Just overcooks it. And it's interesting, you used the word conviction earlier with Svitolina. I remember having a conversation in this commentary box with Martina Navratilova last year, watching Svitolina lose a match, and she said, you have to play with conviction. She wanted her to play with more conviction in the big points.
And that's a great first serve right here.
And as much as she lost that set point, she was trying to be on the front foot. Something she has done well this week, but Bertens such a tough cookie. Not going to give it away.
Again, Bertens.
That's a huge hold from Bertens. This time it's the Dutch player's turn to dig deep. Saves a set point and keeps herself in this fascinating opening set.
Game's on.
5-all.
That backhand down the line that she missed, Svitolina on set point. Hopefully she can erase it from her memory. And just start playing one point at a time again here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, in the front row. Players are ready. Thank you. Love it.
Second double fault for Svitolina. So often see it, don't you, Sophie? There's a bit of a hangover effect when you perhaps could have stolen the previous game.
It's a huge miss here. Well, they're making more errors than they made throughout the first set. So quickly and within the point. It's just tension and pressure right here at 5-all. They both know that they're very close Oh, good serve though, good depth.
Wow. That's the time.
Yeah, she's trying to attack, but why attack down the middle? I mean, make that ball go either down the line or cross court, where actually it travels longer the way she's hitting it. But attacking down the middle is really not going to make much out of the point.
Well, in truth, a bit of a scrappy game, that one, after so much good stuff in the first 10 games. But it's Svitolina who still is able to hold serve, and once again a game away from taking the opening set.
There's 500,000 plus fans that have been coming together over the 5 years. We've had over 137 million TV viewers. We've had 14 million plus video views on social media platforms. We've had legacy programming that encourage participation with young kids to pick up the sport, which will last for generations to come. I think what we've achieved in terms of this event is a blueprint for others to follow.
Singapore has done more than anyone could expect, not just financially, but through support. The fan participation, the grassroots programs, communities. I think it's been extraordinary. I think it's probably more than we expected, which we really appreciate, and forever eternally grateful.
Time.
Had to save a set point last time she came out to serve to stay in the set, Kiki Bertens. I don't think she'll mind any which way as long as she holds serves again. This time 5-6.
Love it.
There's definite tension out there. There's no doubt about that.
I'm still surprised that she wouldn't call on Raymond Slaughter. I mean, this is so huge right now. Why not get the input of your coach? She's not missing by an inch. I mean, this is a mile out. We'll have to figure out something here. A little more topspin maybe off that backhand, but that is not a good miss.
$15.
18 unforced errors for Bertens in this opening set. In fact, make that 19. So stats just update.
You almost feel like she's rushing. I mean, even in between points, look how fast she's almost ready to serve already.
Well, as Alicia Molik said a little earlier, maybe trying to force a little too early in the point. 2 set points for Elina Svitolina. What happened at the end of that set for Kiki Bertens? But Elina Svitolina is a set away from a place in the final here in Singapore. Takes the opening set in 49 minutes by 7 games to 5.
Move back a little bit.
Geef me even een korte recap van deze set. Hoe zit je erin voor de rest qua spel? Heb je het idee dat je weet hoe je moet spelen? Snel? Ja? Probeer het op. Ja. Probeer je zo meteen nog meer te richten op de eerste 4-5 ballen van de rally. En met de return, zowel met de eerste service return als met de tweede service return, om iets meer proberen aan te vallen. Ik zie ook wel dat je het probeert bij die tweede. Luister nou eventjes. Luister nou eventjes. Vanuit je benen. Je gaat hem harder slaan vanuit je arm. Je wil dat je doortennist. Doortennist. Op jouw manier. Afstand. Over die bal heen. En doorheen komen. Vanuit je benen. Doortennissen. Je hebt iets te veel de neiging om hem echt weg te willen slaan. Is ook logisch, want hij komt dan en dan denk je, fuck, ik moet er meer mee doen. Maar vanuit je benen. Sorry, wat?
Hij is zo zacht.
Ja, daarom, zeker op dit baantje, je moet hem echt opzoeken. En voor hetzelfde geld, kom er maar een keertje achteraan. Want dan train je wel dat je, weet je wel, dat je er doorheen komt. Maar je moet hem vanuit je benen spelen. En ik wil het bij de eerste service ook zien. Bij de eerste service return. Ook iets meer aanvallen. Daardoor kan je hem wat minder zwaar spelen. Maar zit hij wel wat verder voor je. En zet je wel wat meer de toon voor het punt. Je moet kijken, weet je, ik weet dat het seizoen lang is en dat je moe bent, maar er moet iets meer energie nog in. Ik weet dat dat moeilijk is, maar ik wil proberen voor ieder punt te bewegen en die aanvallende intentie. Let's go, Kiki. Come on. Hop, hop.
Well, Alicia Molik is court side. Fascinating finish to the end of the set. Bertens really struggled. Long pep talk from Ramon Sluiter. What do you think he would have said there, Alicia?
Yeah, look, I didn't see the finish to that first set coming, to be honest with you. But how much tennis is mental? Well, a lot of it. And Kiki Bertens played the last game very angry, frustrated. She rushed, like Sophie said. Made quick and rash decisions, and she basically mentally switched off. That's all it takes. If she could have 3 or 4 points back this entire match, guess what? They would all be in the last game. Her coach Raymond, though, very positive. He obviously had a lot of words to say, but he seemed very calm at the same time.
Of course, he said he's part psychiatrist, part coach, Ramon Sluiter.
So often they are, but don't you think, Alicia, that we might have been good to call him at 5-4 in the set versus at the end of the set when it's really crucial?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't understand why she waited that long.
And the other thing is, if she called him on a fraction earlier, I mean, the frustration was building, so it wasn't a sudden reaction to what was happening on court. It was building, and potentially her coach Ramon Sluiter may have just been able to curb that if he was able to get on court earlier, just settled her mind at least. I think she's doing a good job out here, Kiki Bertens. She has been patient for the majority. It's just she's let that sense of frustration creep in, and it's altering her decision-making now, as you can see, getting down on herself. I did see, too, though, Elina Svitolina look up when Bertens bounced her racket, sort of nodded her head, I've got you now. When you see a player who gets down on themselves physically and shows it, gives them a one-up.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well with regards to the coaching chat. Ramon Sluiter's talked a lot in press conferences around, saying that he likes to be proactive rather than reactive, and so possibly coming on court even earlier than 5-4. We'll see if we can see a reaction from the Dutch player. Has a break point here. Take the break point, and maybe the pep talk did the job. It's Bertens who breaks first in set 2.
Well, that's a great reaction from Kiki Bertens. I mean, we thought that mentally she was pretty much checked out, but yeah, I mean, I really do think that having a coach there, I mean, it's just some positive energy. And looking at the stats of the first set, equal amount of first serve percentage, 59%, but look at the unforced errors for Kiki Bertens, 21. That's a big number in one set. 10 double-digit only for Svitolina. If he keeps it at 10 or under, I'm not sure there's a chance for Kiki Bertens to come back in this match.
We're talking about the unpredictability of this tournament. Can't predict who's going to win, but what you tend to be able to predict is that the matches are tight and close. Of course, we've had 7 3-setters already in this tournament. A record. Great redirection from Bertens.
Yeah, when you get to that redirection, if you keep running along the baseline, that ball is shorter. It's just going away from you. She needed to cut the angle right here, go straight towards the bounce. But look, she keeps running across from that baseline, just along it. She's not going to make it there.
Well,
look who's rushing now.
Game of Bertens.
Quality game from Bertens, backs up the break. But of course, we've talked a lot about this court, Sophie, and there's a big difference, isn't there, from the topspin to the slice?
Oh, it's totally different. I mean, look at what happens when the topspin compared to the slice, how high it gets, and look at the height of the slice. It stays so low, it skids on top of that. Very difficult to hit, and I really wish that most of the players who are still in will use that slice a lot more often.
15.
To play the swing volley and was nearly made to pay.
Well, she was so excited, Kiki Bertens, to get to that ball, because most of the time she can make that forehand. And this is really credit to how much better she's fitness-wise, physically moving so much better on the court. She has worked so hard last season, on the off-season, to get to that shape.
I said last off-season was her best ever off-season. And she's reaped the rewards in 2018. Regards to match wins.
I love it. Love that shot. I'm so excited that she finally went for the line. She needs to do that more often on second serve, and by doing so, she's going to scare a lot Svitolina on the second serve. Maybe throw some double faults.
Eyes lit up.
30.
The line ball was there.
Game Svitolina.
Crucial hold, you feel, for Svitolina. Especially with the way that she started this second set. Gets herself on the board, does the Ukrainian, but it's Bertens who's in front by 2 games to 1. Bang on an hour played so far in this one. Finely poised, isn't it? This, incidentally, a 5th semi-final of 2018 for Kiki Bertens. How did she get on in the previous 4? Well, pretty well. Won them all. She's won 4 tournaments this year. Charleston, Cincinnati, Seoul. And was runner-up in Madrid. Omens, of course, pretty good for Bertens, although she is the 8th seed, and although 4 times out of the last 5 years the 8th seed has made it to the semis, never have they gone on to the final out of those 5 years.
Let's.
The reason you saw Chichak look skywards is because there's a huge thunderstorm going on outside. Good job this is an indoor venue.
Yeah, really. I thought it was the wind. I'm like, well, we are indoors, Sophie.
It's a fabulous venue at that.
It's great serve.
Been a wonderful host for the last 5 years. Singapore Indoor Stadium.
It's so up and down what Kiki Bertens is doing. It's kind of hilly, I would say, to describe her game right now. I mean, she can produce such amazing hits. This first serve was on in this game, and then all of a sudden she starts making unforced errors 2 or 3 feet out.
3 games to 1.
Compact everything and be a little more consistent.
And in a way, Sophie, absolute nightmare to play against, because we know about the variation, mixing up the height and the ball speed anyway, as well as the spin. But the fact that balls are flying in and then flying out, it's Svitolina, tough for her to get a rhythm.
Definitely.
New balls for Svitolina, 1-3.
Elina.
Has seemingly been the lower bouncing balls that
of course
has struggled with.
She's standing way up. I mean, I think that, you know, she needs to be much lower on these, and especially staying low.
tough shot to execute.
That's a lot of risks.
Steve Simon, CEO, courtside, as he always is.
Never forced her. I mean, I felt like Raymond Slutters told her to maybe be more aggressive on the second serve, but here, I mean, she's totally missing the mark. If she's going to miss like this, I would go for it even more. Just step inside and go for the down the line return.
Yeah, Svitolina. Miss Svitolina.
She wants to handle that forehand from Svitolina. Just the one break so far then in the second set. It went to Bertens, and that's why she leads 3-2.
Back for a second, okay? Just think, right, too much pressure on myself. Every time you're missing a ball at the moment, there's a reaction, and you know, it's like, come on, I'm wanting more from yourself. Let it happen, okay? Only positive reactions now. Okay, you're jumping on every shot, stay down, do it, keep the hand fast, keep moving the feet, be relaxed with the arm. Then more will come out. I know you're trying to attack, and I told you to keep the pressure on her, but you've got to let it happen with your shots. Short balls, all the body weight's going through to the target, okay? Not jumping up on it. Let it go, okay? It's got to be your mindset. You know what you have to do. Don't put so much pressure on yourself and let it happen. You've got all the tools you need. It's a bit of a dogfight, so embrace the battle. Okay? Understand it's not going to be perfect tennis every point. Yeah? Okay. Come on, look. All positive, it's good, you're right in there. If she's going high with the loopy one, go back and match her with it. Don't go faster with it, okay? But come on now, active on the return as well.
Elina Svitolina, who split with her main coach Thierry Assion, had said Andrew Bertens is staying. And she's been very complimentary of Andy, she calls him, throughout this week, saying that he's done a great job of getting her up for things and helping her a lot. That was certainly a positive pep talk from the Brit. And said a little earlier on about Ramon Sluiters saying that you need to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and it was more about that, wasn't it, Sophie? I mean, lines there was you're reacting after every missed ball, only positive reactions from now on. You've got all the tools you need. What else did you make of what he had to say tactically?
Well, talking about reaction, we didn't see it here, but I can tell you that their reaction after missing that ball was not exactly what he wanted to see. But, you know, I think he also asked her to move her body. Look at the reaction right here. Oh, body language. Oops, not good. Not what you want to do right now. But great serve from Bertens. She's, you know, he said also, you know what you have to do, and if she goes high, match her with it. If she goes with a top spin forehand, especially, be active on the return, move your feet, short balls, put your body into it, commit to it. But none of that right here. Very good hold for Kiki Bertens.
Bertens leads 4-2.
Of course, later on tonight, 7:30 p.m. local time, it's Karolina Pliskova against Sloane Stephens in the second semi-final. Will it be a Ukrainian or a Dutch player in the final after this one? Both players looking to become the first singles player from their nation into the WTA finals final. You can understand the nerves and the tension that we're seeing out there.
Just gotta make that. Didn't commit to that forehand. Just stay low and don't watch your opponent. Just execute.
Yeah, just got caught in two minds there. Hesitated a fraction, and it showed in the volley. It's an area of her game that she has improved over the years. Coming forward, the net play, there is still work to be done.
Racket face going down at impact. So did the ball. Got to keep a firm wrist level of the net.
Inside and outside in Singapore. That was a booming backhand from Svitolina.
It has been a long time since we've seen a winner from the racket of Svitolina, and especially down the line backhand. Picked her target, executed perfectly. Talk about commitment and the reaction. That's going to be more like what Andrew Bertens wants to see.
Game, Svitolina.
So the unforced errors coming for Kiki Bertens.
Bertens leads 4-3.
Still just the one break in this second set. Svitolina trailing 3-4. Well, luckily for us, Alicia Molik is courtside. What have you made of this second set so far?
Well, Elina Svitolina always being the wall, just getting so many balls back, and it keeps frustrating Kiki Bertens, but she's got to keep tempering that emotion to get her back to her best. I like the fact that Kiki Bertens is using her loop, but you have to use it for a purpose. So I think it's a great play against Elina Svitolina, hitting the high, heavy, loopy ball, but then I think she's got to take a step or two forward with a real intent on the next ball. And the intent is to try and take it early and then really crowd the ball and try and move Svitolina with the next shot. I feel like she's been looping and then just waiting. So I think that's a next step for her. Play it with purpose.
It's been a bit hit and miss from Kiki Bertens throughout this entirety of the match. We've seen some great stuff, but also a lot of balls missing by some distance. Why do you think we're seeing that, Alicia?
Yeah, she's really been playing, I guess, in waves, and when she's good, she's brilliant. And I think when she's hit a bit of a rough patch, it's been a succession of points. It hasn't just been one or two, it's been a number of points in a group. Someone like Svitolina gets so many balls back, hits them pretty neutral through the centre. She negates a lot of your aggression. So you're constantly playing this mental battle with yourself. When do I go? When can I go? When can I hit?
Well, we saw how frustrating it was when she played against Stevens. Was kind of a similar game as well.
Thanks, Alicia. I'll hear a bit more from you as this match rumbles on, especially if it goes the distance again, which is exactly what Bertens wants to happen.
I was just going to ask the question, can she play at 30 all this huge point well? And she cannot play any better.
Well, you may well be hearing some thunder. I'm not sure whether it's the echo of the ball strike from Kiki Bertens or whether it is thunder outside. Either way, some big, booming strikes from Bertens to get her out of that game.
I mean, the way this set is going, I mean, she's been playing pretty much every other game since being up 2-love in the set.
And now Svitolina serving to stay in the set, 3-5.
But if she continues to play every other game, she's going to win the set eventually. So I guess why not?
If only it was as simple as that. As we referenced earlier in the doubles matchup, Billie Jean King with us yesterday saying the toughest thing to do in tennis, finish. Tough thing to do in anything, business, whatever you're doing, trying to get over that line. Of course, there is thunder outside here, Sophie. When you played indoor events, were you ever distracted by storms outside?
I think one time we actually lost all the lights. Pitch dark. That was kind of strange.
Slightly distracting.
Slightly. Yeah, you try to not, think about it. Gotta focus on the task at hand. Good opportunity here for Kiki Bertens to jump on that serve.
Didn't need to be that good with regards to the touch. Just such a smart play from Bertens.
And the disguise of that drop shot, she's full in, committed to go with a regular forehand. At the last second happens the face of the racket and hit that beautiful drop shot cross-court winner.
Again, the variation from Bertens doing the trick. Saw the slice on the return, a flat strike, a shot with topspin. And in the end, it gets the unforced error from Svitolina. And all of a sudden, it's a set point. O's and the R's. Everyone transfixed with what they're watching here. Okay, the tennis has been up and down at times, but it is enthralling stuff.
Advantage, Svitolina.
Well, this is really the up and downs that we were talking about in this match for Bertens, just giving away that point. Wow. She wishes that one was in.
It's a ripper from Svitolina. And will at least ask the question of her opponent as to whether Bertens can serve out this second set. Still alive for now is the Ukrainian. Bertens leading though 5-4.
Time.
Bertens has already had a set point, had a play on the set point in the previous game. Can she wipe the slate clean, reset, and try and close out this set? Serving for it, 5-4.
Let's press.
Made it. Just don't really know where the ball's going with Kiki Bertens at the moment, but hit that one with conviction.
A better movement, and the serve has been so much better in this set. I mean, she's basically haven't faced one break point yet in this set, and winning 13 out of 14 of the first serve point. So you know that the improvement is there.
What a time to play a shot like that from Kiki Bertens.
You know, what's amazing is that you know how fast Svitolina is, and she is not even close to even moving off of that shot. She's like, and she can't even come close to it. It's just too good, well disguised. The backspin also very difficult. Even if you get to it, the ball is stopping right at impact on the ground.
Faulty love.
Well, missed the set point opportunity in the previous game, but it's been an excellent game this time around from Bertens. Has a second set point and has 3 set points here.
That came off the racket of Svitolina very fast. Good acceleration. Just much faster at impact. Racket speed.
What a return that was from Svitolina. I'm sure Bertens must have been surprised that the serve came back.
That was a great get. That's all you need to do is just put one more ball back in, and trying for another drop shot. A little bit disgusted about it.
4th set point. Svitolina said before this match she was going to be nails, and she certainly was in those 3 points. Gave Bertens absolutely nothing, and 4 set points are saved. Again, gets the serve back in play. And is rewarded for it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Look how quickly she's ready. I mean, not taking her time because she's so annoyed, Kiki Bertens.
Would you believe it? From 40 love down, Svitolina breaks, saves 4 set points, and is still alive in set 2. And as much, Sophie, we can probably look at the errors from Bertens there, but some of those service returns, some of that guts in the rallies from Svitolina to hang with her. Just incredible.
That was incredible. I mean, you have to make him play. I mean, you know it's tight, and you know Kiki Bertens can miss a couple here and there. And just hanging in there, making those returns, that's what was needed for Svitolina to come back to 5-0. What a match.
Well, happened at the end of the first set, if you remember, Sophie. Bertens just seemed to lose her way. Is it going to happen again?
Well, you know that's gonna have to hurt. I mean, this is 4 set points she had altogether so far in the second set for Bertens. 3 in a row on her serve. It must not feel very good in between the ears right now. She has to regroup quickly.
A penny for his thoughts.
Miss Bertens shall call on the left hand sideline. The ball's called.
I mean, what do you do here if you're Bertens, Sophie?
Down the middle, down the middle, down the middle. Wait for anything that is a little bit shorter where you're on the baseline or ahead of the baseline to trigger. Until then, quiet, patience. Well, that's a good challenge right here. That might put a little bit of light in the head of Bertens. We think, you know what? I have another chance here. I need to get back into the score here. Ugh, I thought that was in.
That previous ball, by the way, in by 3 millimeters. Almost as if she didn't quite know what to do with the ball. Maybe saw Svitolina charging forward.
Oh, she's livid on this one, because you know she has the possibility, Bertens, to counter drop shot. She knows that she had that in a racket. So stressful.
Well, if you don't like drama, you don't like twists and turns, I can tell you the WTA is not for you.
Svitolina leads 6 games to 5.
Wow, what a turnaround from Svitolina. She's a game away from the final.
Give me a couple of used balls. I have only used, yeah.
Wat ga je zo doen?
Ja, gewoon we staan en even gaan, zoals je op tijd moet.
Oké. En wil je van mij nog iets anders horen?
Nou, of ik ineens wat anders doe niet.
Nee, je moet accepteren als je een foutje maakt. Dat is wat je moet proberen te doen. That's it. That's it. En als je een foutje maakt, dan moet je daarna proberen nog harder te werken om er weer te staan. Bewegen, bewegen, los. Energie in die bal. In die bal. Straks gaan staan met die eerste service, energie in die bal. Tweede bal, energie in die bal. Mis je iets, maakt geen reet uit. Als je op de volgende punt maar weer staat en het echt staat. Echt staat. Energie weer vol in dat punt. That's it. Hoeveel games het ook nog is, hoeveel sets het ook nog is. Wil je ieder punt zien staan en die energie in dat punt stoppen. En dan word je daarna maar boos als het niet jouw punt is, maar daarna wil ik je echt zien staan. En niet van, goh, oké, sta er weer. Nee, dan neem je maar iets meer tijd. Voor mij pak ik time waarschuwing. Maar echt te staan, die energie losgooien en knallen. Let's go, Kiki. Come on.
Ramon Sleuter again giving Kiki Bertens a long talk. Will it have an effect? 5-6. Oh, he'll be very happy with that point from his play. Serving to stay in the match, remember. What do you think he might have said so?
Well, I mean, I would hope that he said to her to stay with it, that she still has a chance to forget about the rest in the past. Now play 1 point at a time. Take your time. I mean, she was just going so fast earlier in her service game. She went too much for the line right here. Just knowing that Svitolina is moving so well. It's a great serve, an opportunity with a short reply. Just be patient and build up the point.
Wow, did not hold back.
Well, this is exactly the tennis that she wants to play. As soon as she has an opportunity to get inside the purple area and trigger. But you have to be patient. That deep ball set up right here, that backhand, just moving forward, continuing towards the target. And there is intention right here.
Again, Svitolina gets the serve back in play, but this time Bertens is rock solid with the forehand. And is there a bit of a danger here, Sophie, for Svitolina? Because Bertens has been making unforced errors, and it's easy to go into your own shell, isn't it?
Yeah, I think she's not losing that game right here. I mean, it's all about Bertens and how the quality of the serve. And what she does behind the serve, because she's getting some shorter reply. I mean, we haven't seen many shorter reply in the last service game. I mean, even though she was up 40 love, I mean, really, Svitolina came up with some incredible returns.
And another thing we haven't seen too many of is tiebreakers. This just the second tiebreaker this year in Singapore, and that's even more amazing when you consider all the 3 setters we've had.
Incidentally, I think the only one tiebreaker was when Stevens beat Bertens and won the first 7-6.
That maybe Svitolina would go into her shell, but she committed to many of the strikes in that rally.
Look, you have to tell yourself you have to play the best 7 points in your career. Right here, right now for Svitolina. One at a time, but this is it.
One
Just
more,
put
please.
everything
One
you've
more
got
ball
in
down,
that
please.
tiebreaker.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
It's called wide. Surely this one's going to be challenged. No.
Svitolina.
No challenge from the Dutch player. First mini break then to the Ukrainian.
Svitolina.
Would you see that as a positive error, Sophie, or a negative error?
I think she needs to take her time. There's no point to trigger right now. I mean, make her play. I mean, the pressure is really on the one who's down a set. So make her play before you trigger. I mean, you have to pick the right ball. And that was not the right shot selection here. That's good stuff right here. The returner serve, just attack that returner serve down the line. It's been working. You have to find the guts to do it.
Let's. That's a. Let's.
What a point from Kiki Bertens.
The level of difficulty to make that forehand down the line, coming towards it on the forerun. The ball is low, and being able to produce this kind of forehand right at the height of the net, that's absolutely incredible, especially at 2-all in the tiebreaker. Huge point right there for Bertens.
And is able to back it up.
Bertens.
We had that conversation, didn't we, with Billie Jean King about resetting, pushing that reset button, and you've got to give the player in our picture a lot of credit. You know, had 4 set points. We thought she was just going to fall away after not converting on any of them, but she's hung tough.
Yeah, she's hanging tough, and I really think the talk with her coach helped tremendously to reset her mind, especially.
Would you believe it? Bertens can't believe it. As Svitolina steals the point.
The nerves in this match right now. Whew, so mental for both players. She made that one a bit too deep, giving another chance for Svitolina. Just couldn't put that other volley away. Oh, that hurts. Think about resetting. She needs to reset right now.
Let's listen.
Oh, she threw everything at it. Too much at it. Pushes it wide.
That's now Svitolina not to be patient and hurrying up in between serves. She's ready to go already.
By ball.
Well,
Bertens.
there wasn't a lot of margin for error on that shot from Bertens. Over the higher part of the net, up the line. And this tiebreaker almost encapsulating every year here in Singapore. It's just been a glorious roller coaster ride. What defense from Svitolina.
I mean, the return of serve, she gets it, and then the depth of the backhand cross court, pushing Bertens so back. After this shot here, she was inside the baseline, and here, right on the line.
It's 2 points away from a place in the final. Is it going to be a set point or a match point?
Bertens.
It will be another set point. Just a reminder, has had 4 already. And the last of those 4 feel like a long, long time ago. time this year in Singapore. We are going the distance. It will be a one-set shootout for a place in the final. As long as this ball has caught the line, it's inside the line. As Bertens battles back. What character shown from the Dutch player. Takes the second set, 7-6.
That side. Could we? Yes, please. Just to leave.
Well, Alicia Molik is courtside. Extraordinary goings on once again here in Singapore. What have you made of it all, Alicia?
Well, I just love seeing it come back like that. Great effort from Kiki. Bertens really stepped up and played aggressively. The reason she could do that is because I feel like Svitolina, she got tight. She got a bit nervous and she started decelerating on the ball. All of a sudden, it wasn't shooting through. Bertens was able to deal with the ball much earlier. Really forced the issue. Bertens was playing to win, let's face it. She had a good attitude, played much smarter, opened up her shoulders. Important for her to keep that in this third set. Don't make it hard work for herself by rushing through points. I mean, every time she rushes, it's a succession of errors. It's like she's carrying a few more kilos on her back. Every time she rushes, her decision-making changes.
And of course, with Bertens, big first serves a lot of the time towards the back end of that set. What's the noise like courtside when she crunches those serves?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be sitting here and really hear the pop as she makes contact. That's a very comfortable serve for Kiki Bertens. I think she's made good progress on the ad-side serving when she's used her slice serve through the tee. I think that's because Elina has used her slice forehand. She's lifted it up with a bit more height, less pace, and that allows Kiki to run around and hit a forehand. Of course, she's so tall. She's hitting the slice from such a height. It's anyone's, I think, guys. Anyone's.
That's a big play from Svitolina. Yeah, as you said at the start of the week, Alicia, 8 favourites. Now there are 4. Who knows who's going to come through this semi-final? Who knows who's going to come through the next one? Thanks again, Alicia. We'll talk to you again later on, no doubt. Again, getting that one extra ball back, Elina Svitolina.
First game.
And it's enough to pick up a very early break in set 3.
Oh, that's a great start for Svitolina. After losing that set, really close tiebreak. Didn't play as well in tiebreak that she probably wanted to. And looking at the numbers right now, I mean, look at the difference on the winners column. 17 winners for Bertens, and I say Svitolina has to be under the 10 and the double digits. On the unforced errors, she was 1 up, and the difference was really on the stepping on the returner serve, I think, in that second set, and especially in tiebreaker when she hit that winner on set point finally. For Bertens, just being more aggressive and try to stay even keel, try to stay and play every point almost with the same energy. Nice, try to accelerate a little bit more here into that backhand. For Svitolina here, I think the first serve percentage needs to be high in this set to avoid really the aggression from Bertens.
So with regards to that, Sophie, I mean, what would you do to help out your first serve percentage?
Well, I think I would go, especially if Bertens stays back like this that far on the return serve, I would go wide here a lot, use the slice, short slice.
Let's.
Oh, it's beautiful point construction from Elina Svitolina.
That's great stuff. The forehand down the line, and then she sneaked into the net knowing that that ball was going to float a little bit right here. Takes that in the air. Good volley. This one, perfect. Classic punch. Great placement also.
Second serve, got the full treatment, and you may argue got the treatment it deserved.
And we haven't seen an inside-out forehand return since the beginning of the match from Bertens from this side. It's a good change-up. He's trying to go to that wide side, just not successful. You saw that Bertens was not even close to that one.
She's
more aggressive on the return. I'd like to see this going more towards the down the line. It's too much down the center. Because even if it's in, Svitolina is right there. She's going to make that shot.
Yes.
It is again. That's what I was asking for at the beginning of the match, and we didn't see enough of that. You have to take advantage of a serve that's coming 116 kilometers per hour. That is a Pop-Tart.
As Alicia Mollek said, Bertens is playing to win, living by the sword, dying by the sword. And is that what you favour in a third set, someone who's being the aggressor?
Well, on some shot, without a doubt. The second serve of Svitolina is something that she should just wait and be like a hawk on it. I mean, that's one place where you can take advantage of the point right off the bat. It's huge.
I feel if Bertens doesn't break in this game, it will be a missed opportunity. That was just the second first serve that Svitolina has made in the game. Just as you were saying, needs to get a first serve percentage up. It's actually gone in the other direction in this game.
Advantage, Svitolina.
How much is fatigue and tiredness perhaps going to play a factor here, or does that not matter so much because of the adrenaline, what it means, last match possibly for each player?
Well, if there's fatigue, they're probably about the same, so I wouldn't think that it's going to be a huge factor in this third set. Remember, Svitolina didn't play yesterday, and Bertens only played one set against Osaka, which retired because of the hamstring injury. So I wouldn't think physically that they are spent yet.
And Bertens has actually said, playing a lot of matches coming into this one, she was trying to get the points to qualify. Has helped her out, she believes.
Advantage, Bertens.
It's been a scrappy start to this third set. And just what's at stake? Such a prestigious opportunity for one of these two players to reach the WTA Finals final. Again, perhaps some patience, and I think Bertens just saying there to herself, why go line off such a deep ball?
I'll tell you what, if Bertens is not able to break with the low percentage of first serve that Svitolina is putting in this game, then that's going to be tough for later. It's not good on the numbers.
Just stretching a fraction for it.
On the left, far sideline, the ball's called out.
It's been called wide. but it has been challenged by Bertens. Sophie's saying wide, and you're 0 for 2.
Oh my.
Bertens.
Okay, I'm not taking any more chances. It's time for you to shush, Sophie. That's a huge point.
Wow. Break point for Bertens. No. It's fine margins that's going to decide this one.
Yep.
Previous shot catches the line. That one just misses. And so often this week we've seen a player who's just broken. That's when you're most vulnerable with regards to holding serve. There's been opportunities here for Bertens. No doubt about that as we tick past the 2-hour mark.
Advantage, Svitolina. Court violation, record abuse, warning, Miss Bertens.
No complaints from the Dutch player. Still we go on.
I'm going to say it again, it all starts by the return. I mean, she was so much more aggressive on the second serve return, and that's how she started to dictate the point. Bertens, that's so key for her. You have to take risk on that second serve. Go more down the line, the further point away from the server because of the straight line.
Of course, the longer this game goes on, the more in significance you feel it grows with regards to this set and the match. Third break point for Bertens. Back to just we go again. Close to the 11-minute mark in this game.
And this is becoming the longest game of the match. This is the 18th points of this game right now.
As we saw earlier, already over the 2-hour mark. Only played one game in the third set.
Advantage, Svitolina.
Points like that, gold dust.
It's going to help mentally, but also the fact that you don't get into a rally, get a free point, the quality serve. Just to let you know, with regards to what these two players have done in this tournament so far, lengthwise in terms of matches, it's the third match for Bertens that has gone over 2 hours. Match against Kerber was bang on 2 hours. Match against Sloane Stephens, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Svitolina had a marathon match against Wozniacki that lasted 2 hours and 35 minutes. Not the only match that did go over 2 hours, but the match against Pliskova was 6 minutes shy of 2 hours. They've both had a couple of long ones. This one probably likely to trump them all, though. That's aggression right here on the return, pushing Svitolina on the back foot and way far behind the baseline.
told it.
Again, Bertens.
The fourth time is a charm for Kiki Bertens, who wins a simply epic game. And after all that, 13 minutes of that game, it's 1-1 and it's back to as you were.
And imagine they battled for like 13 minutes just for one game. They're right at the beginning of the third set. This is such a long way to go.
Miss, you're going to show the call on the right baseline, the ball's pulled out.
I'm sure Andrew Bertens can watch. That one is just not.
Miss Svitolina has 2 challenges remaining.
Nerve-wracking for the players, nerve-wracking for the fans. Let's not forget what the coaches are put through too.
I'm
just going to have to regroup here. Forget about that game. 2 and 4 errors back to back for Svitolina here.
I mean, this is just now a battle, isn't it, Sophie? So what's going to win the battle?
Consistency, awareness, shot selection. But if Svitolina doesn't get that first serve in more often, I think Bertens starting to really dial it on it.
I mean, as much as I was talking about fatigue, you do wonder mental fatigue with regards to shot selections and things like that. It is in not just this tournament, but the whole year, of course. Pressure on this match as well. You know, both players a couple of months ago, well, with Bertens, certainly wouldn't have dreamt to be in this position.
Another unforced error here. It's like 2 points in this game just offered on the silver platter.
Oh, that's astonishing. Keeping her head whilst everyone else around her loses it.
She's just the queen of angles, you know, on this kind of shots. I mean, she gets an angle and creates one even better with the touch, the backspin. Ah, so good. Racket face facing towards the target. Such feel.
Problem for Bertens is that you just do not know what's coming. It's so often great, but then you get an unforced error like that one.
I know, it looked like she was going to drop shot on this, and look, she's already ready to trigger the serve. Just rushing through it. Every time that she misses that kind of shot, she just is so annoyed.
Incidentally, 54 unforced errors now for Bertens. She's facing another break point. This time it's Svitolina's turn to reset after losing the epic game prior to that one. The Ukrainian responds, breaks straight back.
You as well, Elina.
It's 3 breaks of serve in a row to start this third set. Svitolina leads 2-1.
All of that, put it to one side now, okay? Imagine you're starting a new match and we're going to go back to basics with the tactics and the mentality and everything, okay? You have to step up and take control of this match, okay? She's not going to give it to you and you just waiting, it's not going to be enough, okay? So you trust in your tennis, your ability, and you do that, okay? On your serve, get up to it, drive up and hit it. Hit that first serve. No more of these slow ones, wispy ones out wide. Second serve, I'd rather see you miss one, going for it, and then you find it. You're giving her the opportunity to hit a high forehand on every one. Better to miss one and then find your range and rhythm on it, okay? So just get up and hit it and back yourself. If you want to hit a couple of seconds as a first, just to find it, that's fine, but then you go back to hitting the first. Take on her second serve. You're standing back and giving her the opportunity to wait.
Goed zo. En dat ga je proberen te doen. Want dat is waarom je hier zo staat. En ik weet het is soms af en toe niet leuk. Ja, oké. En dan moet je weer opnieuw beginnen. Ieder punt weer. Energie in die punten. Let's go, Kiki. Come on.
So interesting, isn't it, Sophie? As in the two dialogues going on. Even if you can't understand what they're saying, you can see how they're interacting. And of course, Andrew Bertens coming on over and speaking to Elina Svitolina just a moment ago. New match, back to basics. You step up, trust in your tennis. Also had a fair amount of advice on the serve too. She stepped up in that point, but he said get up to it with regards to your serve. Second serve, rather see you miss one, back yourself.
Yeah,
you agree with everything?
Well, I agree with him telling her that she needs to put more first serves in, and he asked her to even put a second serve. Don't go full first serve if she wanted to at the beginning, but other than that, he wants her to go for it on the first serve, reach up, and just being more in command of the point. But the serve was really what hurt her in the last service game. That's why she got broken. I mean, she was down at 45% of first serves. That's not enough, and Bertens felt it, and took advantage of it, stepped in.
What did you make of his advice though, with regards to that second serve, in terms of, you know, find your level even if you miss one? So go for it a bit more.
I think he's right on the sense of at the beginning of the points right here to put a second serve to make sure that that first was going in. What I call first second is a little bit less pace, but ensure that the ball is going to go in. And the first, you know, just reaching up and accelerating, going for it, not for the slice. He didn't want her to go for the slice wide. That's a bad mistake right here. But you know, when you struggled once on the serve and it took so long for you to win the game, 22 points, not to win the game, to be broken, you know that it's in your mind and you're like, oh, got to do something more. And you don't want to go back into that tussle back and forth, especially for 22 points. That's way too long.
With regards to what Randall Sluyter might have said to Bertens.
Well, I mean, I think that what he's doing is really the psychology works. Every time that he comes in, it's when she's like desperate, so mad, so upset. And I think he's probably trying to get her back to feel like, you know, you're still in this match. But I would have told her to attack any second serve that was there and to trigger when she is stepping about the baseline area to trigger and go for more.
3-2-1.
But she's played such an up and down match. It's so hard to, you know, to watch, and probably for Svitolina to get a rhythm on it.
It must be hard for Bertens to trust her own game with regards to that.
It's like up and down constantly.
This time, though, Svitolina able to back up the break. So it's a 2-game cushion now in this deciding set. Elina Svitolina doing so well, just getting the serve back in play, asking the question. This time Bertens has the answer.
Svitolina.
That's the angle. We saw quite a few of those early on in the encounter. Haven't seen as many of late.
Well, the 174 kilometers per hour serve definitely helped. It was a very fast serve, had a short reply.
Beautifully done.
Bertens.
Initially opening the court up and firing into that open space.
Svitolina leads.
After all the drama and the twists and here in Singapore, drama at its finest, and Alicia Molik is courtside. What's going to happen next, Alicia? You've been so good with your crystal ball. What's it telling you?
Well, what it's telling me is that if Kiki Bertens would like to come back here and win this game, she's got to keep up or raise the ante on her return of serve. She was really successful last time when she was prepared to step up. She hit a few inside-in forehands, a few winners actually from the outside in particular. Really has to make herself be seen.
And Alicia, when you used to play, when you were having one of these days like Kiki Bertens where it's going in and out, did you do anything to get yourself back, so to speak?
Well, we've spoken of play to win it. It's much easier to stomach when you've made the right decision, you've committed to the ball, you've gone after it, as opposed to the other way, the contrast of being negative, hoping that you're going to make the ball, playing safe. I think you can live with yourself if you're committed to the way that you know is going to win you the match. Yeah, you might miss, but that's much easier to stomach and suck up than the other way, being careful and protective about your tennis. Have to let it go. I mean, against these players here, everyone such a high caliber, all incredible movers, hitters. You can't play a negative game or a careful game. It's all about hitting. We heard Andrew Bertens come on and encourage Svitolina to go out after the ball. That's the way she's been successful. Keep being aggressive.
And in these emotional roller coaster rides that we're seeing, Alicia, just how important are the coaches?
I think the They're very important. They're more useful when you've got a listening athlete. And I've noticed the difference in both Kiki Bertens and Elina Svitolina when their coaches have come on court. They've been like sponges. They've absorbed all of their coaches' instructions and words. But tennis is largely up to the player. I mean, you've got to have an understanding of what's happening, the balance of the match, the feel of whether your opponent is tightening up or not, knowing when to pounce. Let's see what happens.
Thank you, Alicia. Let's see what happens, indeed. I mean, that has been the joy of the WTA all year. So tough to call, so unpredictable. Exhilarating and thrilling at the same time.
30 love.
Well, they both held at love in their preceding games. And now, again, a chance here for Bertens. Playing very aggressive.
40 love.
So far, 7 points in a row on her serve in those 2 games.
It's crazy, the sport, isn't it? The rhythm that we get. We have a 13-minute game, and then all of a sudden they're both holding like it's on a quick grass court. Where did those couple of games come from? Blink of an eye, both players hold serve, and we're back to the sit-down.
Svitolina leads.
Svitolina, though,
4 games to 3.
still has the break and still leads 4-3 in the decider.
Time.
Call it if you can. You'd be braver than me. Braver than you, Sophie?
Good luck calling this one. That's all I have to say.
With the break, though, Svitolina up 4-3. In terms of predictions, I've not been too sharp this week, incidentally, but the one thing I did say walking into you, it's likely to be an epic, a long one. So at least I've got that right.
Well, and several other matches here have been epic, so didn't go too much on the limb here.
It was an easy call.
The easiest one she's missing.
15.
She can't believe it.
Thirty, 15. 40-50.
Well, you said, Sophie, to me, when I asked you what was going to win this third set, you said consistency, picking the right shots to select, and just pointed out a stat to me. Just 3 total winners for Svitolina, only 2 from the back of the court in this set. Which says it's all on Bertens' racket.
40-30.
And that's exactly what I just said. It's all on Bertens' racket. It's a phenomenal forehand to win the point before. The next ball misses a short second serve return mid-net. Don't quite know what's going to happen next with regards to Bertens' game. And now she's serving to stay in the match.
58 unforced errors for Kiki Bertens today. It's outrageous.
But she's still got a chance.
She's still in it.
Had to work hard for the point.
15.
Does win the point.
Great move here. Decided to go round it to hit that inside out winner. Eight winners for Bertens in this set, all coming from the forehand wing.
Yeah, this is the we were seeing earlier, dried up, but she won't mind as long as she keeps winning the points. Serve. Broken twice in this set, but it was right at the start of the set. Relentless from Elina Svitolina. This time it's the Ukrainian who gives Bertens the runaround.
Well, we often said about Svitolina that she's too passive, and especially when she needs to finish a match. But right now, she is definitely the active player out there, going for it, going to get that match. Great intensity, even though Bertens really tried everything she could.
Frustrating thing there for Svitolina. Doesn't get the winner. Bertens still getting a racket to everything. That's why we've seen so few clean winners. The court coverage from both of these players. She was 2 points away in the second set, Elina Svitolina. She's 2 points away again. Personified.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. What a shot. 30-all, the most pressure you can get in a match. It was going to be either a game point or a match point. Look at that. Cool as a cucumber.
shown so much fight throughout 2018, and there's still plenty left in the tank. What a point from the Dutch player.
New balls, please.
And she's still alive in this encounter. Svitolina leads 5-4.
Svitolina leads 5-4.
Serving for a place in the final with new balls too. 5-4.
In the previous game, we saw Svitolina coming twice at the net. I mean, was very active coming forward. Now, being a little bit more patient from the baseline, asking the question to Bertens.
That's great tennis from Bertens. And Svitolina has to be careful she doesn't get too passive.
I agree with you, but she needs to find the depth too, because that was very short throughout this rally, dictated by Kiki Bertens.
This situation, how much do you think she's trying to recall from that dramatic win over Wozniacki?
Well, I mean, I think, yeah, I think it's definitely a factor. I'm not sure what she's going to ask right now, but something in the ball, like there's switching balls. But anyway, I mean, I think right now what's important for Svitolina is being more aggressive on the first serve, reach up, and be more aggressive overall in the point. Because Kiki Bertens is not going to give it to her. Or maybe she is. Second, that it is not even a second serve. It was 127 kilometers per hour on her first serve. She's just engaging the ball, thinking, well, maybe she's going to miss, and she did. Merci beaucoup.
Hold it.
30-14.
Get the feeling she doesn't quite know what to do here, Svitolina, whether to press or whether to just play consistent. Wide. Incredible defense from Svitolina. There was just no way through.
Absolutely amazing on the speed, the recovery, asking one more question to Bertens.
It's pretty
making
exciting,
her hit
but please
one more
remain
ball.
silent during
Bertens
the point.
very upset
Thank
because the crowd got involved into it. How can you not?
Understatement of the year. It's pretty exciting. It's another lifeline for Kiki Bertens.
Advantage, Bertens.
Can she grab hold of it? Second break point of the game.
Such a fatigued forehand first from Svitolina, clipping the net, and nothing Bertens can do about it. I mean, that is so sad for Bertens. She knows how big that was. She had such an opportunity, just doesn't seize the opportunity, and that is huge at this stage of the match.
Twice, just missed the line. And again, just misses. And the thing is, she knows she's got to try and hit the lines because Svitolina is getting everything right now. It's been an epic 2 hours and 37 minutes. And Elina Svitolina stands at match point. Before this tournament, but now Elina Svitolina is in the championship match of the WTA finals. The Ukrainian shines again in Singapore with another display of character, fight and grit as she wins a titanic battle. And look what it means to her. She's been through so much over recent months, but it all looks like it's worth it to the 6th seed. She wins 7-5, 6-7, 6-4 in 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you, that was an epic and a very tiring match for Svitolina. As for Kiki Bertens, great showing here. I mean, coming to the semi-final in this tournament, what an effort, what a year she's had. I mean, she's going to be a hot player in 2019, but Svitolina, we love seeing that, and the just a mentality out there, and she went and get it and got it. And I am so proud of her, because when she came here, she was so just looked at as a player that shouldn't even be here. So I think the consistency prevailed today without a doubt.
And she is now courtside with Andrew Krasny.
You are through to the finals, the crown jewel of the WTA tomorrow. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. It was such a tough battle today, and I'm very, very happy I could win in the end. It means a lot to me, and I'm very happy to share this with you guys.
A very special moment for you, Elina. The match it was so mental, it was physical. What do you think it was that got you over the finish line at the end?
Yeah, I think physically, in the end, it was just about, running and chasing every ball. And I think the level was, very, very tough. And we both were playing really good tennis and serving. So, I'm very pleased that I could, stay in the match and close it.
And very symbolic of your entire season, fighting, staying positive, and look where it got you. You have to feel very special. Billie Jean King is here in Singapore. You have a chance to get her trophy. How does it feel?
It definitely would be amazing, but there's still lots of work ahead of me tomorrow. And, whoever I play tomorrow is going to, be there. And it's going to be very, very tough, It's the last match of the season, definitely now. And so I'm going to give my best and, just going to leave everything on court.
Will you watch tonight? Sloane Stephens taking on Karolina Pliskova. Will you watch? Will you have your coach watch? Will you go out and enjoy Singapore? What does a finalist do the night before?
Well, I think I will watch a little bit, but I know how they play, and, it's just going to be about recovering first, because, 2.5 hours on court definitely takes a lot out of you. So I will just try to recover and, just be ready for tomorrow. I'm sure there will be a great match tonight.
A lot of fans here in Singapore. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, we've been watching Elina Svitolina for a long, long time, Sophie, but what a mature, professional person and player she has turned into. And after all the drama of